Test, test. This is what I was wearing last night.
I like
When I
that.
was
Is that what you drove around in?
As what I was doing Uber Eats, and I feel like I made fun of that one woman when I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna dress up as a Uber Eats driver for Halloween," and she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "No." And then last night I was like, "Oh my god, I was."
Mm.
She was right. I really was.
She's a little clairvoyant. She knew things that you didn't even know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
How was it? How was the drive? Did you see a lot of people? Did you what was
Yeah,
it like?
a lot of trick or treaters. Not too much of note happened. The most interesting thing, um, I had like Starburst, and I was like leaving them with my orders as like little
Oh.
treats. I was giving out candy, and there was this one house that had like stairs and a porch and a table where like a bowl of candy would be, but there was no candy. And I set their pizza down. They got a Regina Pizzeria pizza. And I put a little one piece of Starburst on top of the pizza. And then I like walk down the stairs. I'm in my car. I'm putting in the directions for the next house. And this group of trick or treaters walks by, and they like look up the stairs because you can't see from the sidewalk whether or not there's candy. And
Yeah.
then one like small girl in the group like is like, okay, I'll be the one to do it. And she walks up the stairs, and I can see her just like looking at the pizza and the one piece of Starburst and like looking around. And then she grabs it and like walks down the stairs with and like holds it up. She's like, mission success. And I'm like, I gave that to you.
That's awesome. You just saved that house for an
I
entire year.
know.
They would
They
house
almost
that didn't
got
get
tricked
yeah. I thought you were
or
gonna say she took
cursed.
the pizza. Bro.
Yeah, I was like, that would have been funnier. She's like,
It
yo, this house just left out an entire pizza. That's crazy.
yeah, right? Like, imagine if she comes down with just, like, a slice. Like, the person who ordered the pizza gets this, like, cheese pizza from Regina with 7 slices in it.
One
Like
and one piece of Starburst.
right. Be like, "Oh, the pizza's Pac-Man for Halloween."
How was your Halloween?
It's good. I think well, okay, so Halloween proper, I didn't do a ton. I was yesterday, right?
That
That was
was
yesterday.
yesterday.
What did I do? Shit. Well, so didn't have a ton of plans. Went out for Halloween weekend. Didn't do like didn't have anything really planned for yesterday. Um, but Hannah got like invited to a concert kind of last minute. So originally it was gonna be like we're gonna hang out and like maybe watch Hocus Pocus or blah blah
Ooh,
blah. And
classic.
Hannah was like, I'm gonna go see Renee Rapp. I'm out. Peace. And I was like, beautiful. I am gonna sit here. And it was fine until like I only got like FOMO like a little bit
Hmm.
once when my mom was recounting like the trick-or-treaters that were coming by. And I was like, that's so nice,
Mm.
Halloween. Apparently, like some little kid who was dressed up as Elvis rung the doorbell. My mom answered and went, Elvis has entered the building. The kid grabbed candy, walked away, and went, Elvis has left the building. I was like,
Damn.
this kid's a
That kid
tremendous
is going places, specifically
yeah,
to another building.
right. Specifically, I wonder how many times he's rehearsed that joke. But it really, yeah, it you know how like there was the Elvis movie and now there's the Priscilla movie and everybody's like, yo, the guy in the Elvis movie worked so hard to be Elvis, but the guy in the Priscilla movie was like, I've seen Lilo and Stitch and they like Elvis, so I based it off that version of Elvis. And everybody's like, the Elvis and Priscilla is so much better. Well, I'd like to enter a third Elvis, uh, which is
A new
this
Elvis
10-year-old.
in the conversation. Yeah, exactly.
um, yeah, that and then like I don't know, like so I'm in an apartment building, right?
Mhm.
I'm on the 10th floor. There are primarily students in here, so like we didn't get any fucking like trick or treaters. Like a few people on the hall like decorated their doors with like cotton spider webs or whatever, but I opened the window just so I could hear like the sound of trick or treaters outside, and that was very nice. What I ended up doing was like to fight the sads, I put on a Spotify Halloween party playlist and I played 2K to the Monster Mash and the
I did the
Ghostbusters
mash
theme
by
song.
myself. Yeah.
I was like, you know, this is only sad if I let it be. And then I started singing along.
That's
And
wonderful,
I
man.
ended up having a nice time. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I did end up flipping on Hocus Pocus by myself. I was like, you
Of
know what?
course.
Hell yeah. Because I wanted to be able to say to myself, that's Salem. And that's a
That's
callback.
I have seen the part of Hocus Pocus where the witches get summoned, like at the beginning or like middle beginning of the movie. I've seen
Mhm.
that part twice this holiday season, and I've seen nothing else.
Well, okay, so you got a big plot point there, but I feel like if you're gonna just like drop in and watch any one scene of Hocus Pocus, I'm gonna mention a scene of Hocus Pocus, which isn't the scene where the witches get summoned. So if
Interesting.
that's where the end of your Hocus Pocus knowledge ends, like I'm gonna alienate you right here. And
Yeah,
this is
yeah, it's
that
gonna be
thing.
a spoiler.
Yeah. Well, there's one point where they like get the witches go to a costume party for adults and like
Cool.
they get called up on stage to sing and at first they're like but then they end up singing like I put a spell on you and it's
Oh,
great. It's a great scene in the movie and I feel like if you're going to drop in and watch any one bit this holiday season I would recommend that. I'll have to find a timestamp for that. I'm going to go I'll go timestamp that for you.
cool, cool,
And
cool.
yeah, but beyond that, it's pretty mellow. I had some candy. The security guard in my building was handing out candy. So I got a Twix and a Kit Kat, and I was like, "There is still joy in the world."
We
Like,
could we could rank all the candies, like which ones are actually better than others. But that would probably take many hours.
yeah, I
So
think
just Twix or Kit Kat.
Twix. Boom. The caramel wins. Yeah. I like Kit
Interesting.
Kat. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a Twix guy through and through.
I feel like I would say Twix, but having just had both pretty recently, I'm gonna say Kit Kat. Okay, what do you think about Three Musketeers?
Like them. I like nougat.
Yeah, my mom was like, "These suck." I was like, "No, they do not." Compared to like Butterfingers, I hate Butterfingers.
Yeah, I'm not like I mean, so I have the caveat of like not having peanuts for the first maybe like 18 years of my existence. So like I never got the Butterfingers like nostalgia thing. So I
Mm,
like they're low on my tier length, but they should be like not ranked. Like if I was being
yeah,
fair to them, I'd give them like an incomplete.
yeah.
But I'm not
A-
gonna. So I'm gonna put them at the bottom.
And do you have a number one?
I I okay, so now I'm thinking about Kit Kats, and I think their like crushability is really underrated. Like you can have like a ton of Kit Kats, I feel like. Well, there's like they come in like little things to six, right? Whereas
Yeah,
Twix,
yeah.
you only get
I'm like a psychopath who bites into all of them, and I'm just like, I did that last night, and I was like, this is fucked up. And I was like, but you get so much more crunch per bite when you just bite into all of them rather
I'm
than
hanging
break them
up.
off.
This is it. I'm done. I'm getting off. That's where I draw the line. That's insane behavior. I feel like I've only ever done that once just to see what it was like.
Oh my god, the rush.
I know. I was like, look at me, I'm a heathen. I would say, yeah, I like those. So, well, I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Do you like fruity or chocolatey candy more?
I would probably say fruity, but my number one's gonna be chocolatey. I feel like you know what my number one is because I talk about it a lot. Because
I,
it's
yeah,
underrated. It's not something that gets handed out at Halloween, but it's at most like cash registers, like when you're at a supermarket.
what do you like? It's gonna be something stupid. I'm ready. Like,
It's
no, no.
it's it's the best of both
Give me
worlds.
two. Give me two guesses. I'm gonna say two guesses that are off the beaten path. I actually don't know this one off the top of my
Okay,
head, so I'm
okay,
sorry. I'm a bad cousin,
no, it's
but
okay.
I feel like you're either gonna say like 100 grand or um, what's another like
I feel
best
like
of
100
both
grand's pretty
worlds?
good, but I feel like those get handed out at Halloween.
Do they? Again, I think there are peanuts in that, so I could not for me.
Yeah,
Do you like almond joy? Are you an almond joy
I
guy?
do like almond joy. They're gonna be up there. They're top tier for me, but they're not number one. You
Okay,
don't like
what's
almond
number one?
joy?
Nuts. Again, I don't. Any candy with nut in it gets an incomplete.
Tommy,
Um,
you
except
are
for
not a
Snickers. I like
Tommy,
Snickers.
Tommy, you are not allergic to nuts. This is something I'm reminding you and my mom after 26 years.
Right. No, I know. I love to play the I'm allergic to nuts card when it's very convenient to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. Have I ever had an almond joy? No, they kind of scare me. They kind of. I'm
Oh, the
not gonna lie. They're
coconut.
like mounds. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
like I
mounds
feel
with
like those
almonds
scare
on
me
them.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
what is it? Don't bury
it's Reese's sticks. Reese's sticks. So it's like a Kit Kat, but it's got a little bit of peanut butter in there. it's wafers, but it's also peanut butter and chocolate. So it's like got the texture of a Kit Kat, but the taste of a Reese's.
Wow. I can see how that would be up there.
I
The
don't understand
crushability factor of
why
Kit Kat.
the crushability is unreal. You put those in the fridge, actually top tier. If they're like chilled, yeah. I do not know why they're not like a Halloween staple. They've been in the game for years. I've been a fan. I've been an advocate. I feel like they've been on the come up, but they haven't broken through the mainstream in miniature form. But they're at every cash register, so check them out next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how are they packaged? Like, because that's the thing about Halloween is they have to be like individually wrapped, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it always comes as like 2 sticks, like a full size kind of like Twix bar or whatever. So they're not made for Halloween unless you're like one of the cool houses who gives out
Yeah,
full
like
size.
right. Yeah, like truly the 1% who hands out full size candy bars. Yeah, I don't know.
Which means the kids don't know. The kids are being
kids don't
deprived
know.
of the number one.
Well, the kids are getting the normal Reese's, right? I feel like Reese's cups are.
I think Reese's cups are one of the weakest of the Reese's family. Like Reese's Pieces, better. Reese's Sticks, better. I don't know what else is in the Reese's family.
I feel like that you kind of like the mini cups, right? They're like
the
little
mini cups are better. Mini cups are better than the regular cups, in my opinion.
I get that. I get that. Crushability, man. It's a huge factor. I literally can't stop saying that. It's like it's the one.
Have you ever had Take 5? The ones with pretzels and caramel and like peanut butter. It's a lot. It's like 5 different ingredients. It's
No,
good.
I haven't.
Okay,
I haven't.
well.
I like so I'm like wicked narrow-minded, I guess, in my candy. Like growing up, it was like Kit Kat, Twix, Three Musketeers. You know what I used to have a lot is like Crunch bars.
Crunch bars are so good.
I love a Crunch bar. I love a
good Crunch bar.
They used to
They
make
need to make a
caramel
Reese's
bar.
Crunch.
We're on to something.
We're on to something huge.
We're on to something.
My sister's favorites have always been Skittles. They've always been sweet. And I fuck with sweet, but I don't know why I'm in the chocolate mindset right now.
Yeah, I feel like it almost like fits the season better. You know,
Yeah,
like Skittles are good in like Starburst. Great candy. Good choice. Handing those out. Very, very accessible. I love Airheads. I'm a big Airheads are a slept on one. I feel like I
haven't had Airheads in so long.
Yeah, neither have I. But I love it. I used to love the blue and the orange Airhead were like my 2 favorite.
Wow.
And there used to be this kid in my middle school who I don't know why he had Airheads. Maybe I was just in contact with Airheads more, but he used to like get the little ones and he'd like flick it like he's got like a pack of cigarettes and the Airhead would shrink into like one ball and then he would just pop it in his mouth and I was like, that's insane. But I'll never forget. It was the 10-year-old equivalent of packing a cigarette. It was like taking the Airhead.
He had it rolled up in his sleeve. You're just like, damn, okay.
He's cracking his wrist. What the hell is going on? This kid is so much cooler than me.
Wish I had an Airhead. Okay, so you live in a building.
Yeah.
For Halloween, this was a story that we ended last episode on, and I didn't get to tell it. So sad. My freshman year of college, I was in a dorm, as most college kids are, and we, for some reason, had this thing where on Halloween, kids from the local community would walk through the halls of our dorm and knock on the door, and whoever organized it gave us candy to hand out to the kids. And so, like, most of the students, I was like in an engineering dorm, LOL. And so most of the students were just like doing homework, and then kids would knock on the door, they'd open the door, and they'd like give them candy, and then they'd close the door, go back to doing homework. I was avoiding homework, so I had like the lights off, and I had like spooky music playing, and kids would knock at the door, and I would open it a little bit, and then I'd yank it open, and then I would like get a reaction, because first off, that's fucking weird, scary, and second off, like it's not what they were expecting, because everyone else played it so boringly.
Yeah.
And so I got a amount of like jump scares, but I felt so bad. There was this one little girl who like I scared so bad she burst into tears immediately, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And her dad was there, and he was just like, "This is I thank you. You're putting in that extra effort. These other kids are doing nothing. You're very cool. Don't worry about her. She cries all the time. You keep doing this." And I was just like, okay, here's some candy. It was so funny because, some kids were like terrified and other kids were just like deadpan. They're like, where's the candy? Where's the candy, man?
I didn't come here to be entertained. I came here for a piece of candy. That's crazy that the dad was like, this is awesome. You're good.
Yeah, like, don't trip. He was like, don't worry about her.
Oh my God. How old was the little girl? Like little?
Young enough that she burst into tears when I opened the door. I'm like, I'm not that scary.
Oh my God. I feel like, do you think UMass still does that? Does UMass, do you think they still do like because I feel like the things I've been seeing and like, again, hearing just from my mom, because she was like, there were no trick-or-treaters this year. There were very few. Do you think like, is trick-or-treating like antiquated? Is that old?
No, I saw people trick-or-treating last night. I think we got some trick-or-treaters last night. And my family it's a big bowl with a fake hand on the outside, and you put your real hand in this like little glove that sits at the bottom of the bowl, and so people reach into the candy and you can grab their hand, and that's fucking terrifying. That's where I got the inspiration to traumatize trick-or-treaters. And so my mom got some good trick-or-treaters last night, but she didn't trick anybody. And I'm just like, what's the point of the crazy bowl with the fucked up hand if you're not going to make some core memories for these kids?
Right, exactly. Like you don't understand the importance for the youth. They need to be frightened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my grandparents on my mom's side used to do like something similar. Like they would go all out for Halloween. Like I don't know if you remember like my grandma all that much, but she would dress up in like a full witch costume every Halloween and like sit in a rocking chair on like their little like foyer, and like, she was nice. She was a little nice little lady, so she wouldn't scare anybody. But like they would have people come year after year because they would decorate the house all nice, and they'd have a bunch of little like, I don't know, Halloween decorations that were from 1970s. So they all are super like dense and kind of like now look very old and scary. But I just remember like growing up, there was like almost like a line out the door down like Woodland Ave, just to like take a picture or like get candy from the nice old witch. And I don't like, I mean, like, I just don't know if my family doesn't go that hard anymore. That tradition did not carry over. My mom likes to sit outside, and she decorates our house really nice. My mom is like a decorator extraordinaire, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Like the trunk or treating, that's a big thing now. That was not a thing, I think. Have you heard of that?
Trunk or treat? No.
So it's like instead of trick or treating, where on Halloween night you roam the neighborhood going from door to door, it's kind of like, okay, like on Saturday from 4 to 7, like come park in this parking lot, and like little kids will come from like car to car getting.
Oh, wait, that seems so efficient if you're the kid.
Yeah, right. It is like, it's definitely like more efficient. It's definitely like, I don't know. I feel like if you're a parent, maybe it's quote unquote safer because like, I mean,
you can see what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's very contained. Like everyone who's there in theory is in the spirit of Halloween, because like, why the fuck else would you come to a truck or treating event? But I just feel like that really, it doesn't capture the spirit the same way. It doesn't like capture the spirit of like truly wandering a neighborhood, seeing houses that you see the other 364 days a year, and now approaching them, like.
Yeah, and it has no lights on, and you're like, I wonder if they have candy.
These guys definitely have candy. Ring, 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 ring.
God.
I also like forgot trick or treating. Like, I think as an adult, my perception of Halloween is slanted a little bit because I think of it as like a Halloween weekend thing now, where it's like late, everybody's out super late, but like trick or treating is like done by 7. Like trick-or-treaters are
Yeah.
like done by 8, which is just like
It's
like
like
I had
it
the window open to hear trick-or-treaters, and then at like 8:30 it was quiet. I was like, well, I guess Halloween's over.
it was like 5 o'clock when I started doing Uber Eats and nobody was out. And I was like, that makes sense. It's pretty early. And then by 6, it was pitch black. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to go trick or treating if it's pitch black. And then I'm like, I guess that's always how it's done. It's always done in the dark, which makes it
Right.
so much scarier.
Right, exactly right. There's an element of mystery to it. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what the fucking equivalent is in New York City. I guess trunk or treating is good for people like me who have like an apartment building and
Yeah.
in theory can't. Little kids won't go knocking door to door. But I don't know. It's yeah. I like the mysticalness around the nighttime trick or treating.
Getting lost in the new neighborhoods that you're not used to. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
It was my sister's birthday recently. It was Mara's 32nd birthday. That's crazy. She's too old. And so I got her a gift and I got her some dog toys. Because like that's what she really wants. She just loves her puppy.
Hmm.
Um and so my mom had gotten her like a book bag or just like a purse or whatever, and I filled it with like some I put some candy and some little plastic spiders and I called it a boo bag. And then I put in some dog toys and she's like sitting on the couch and she pulls out this dog toy. First off, she pulls out like a bone. And Barry instantly is just like knows it's not for her. He knows it's for him, and he like
Right.
it like notices it. She puts it on the table, and he's just like aware. And then she pulls out this broccoli like chew toy, and that he goes fucking nuts for. As soon as she pulls it out of the bag, he jumps on the couch and like rips it out of her hands. I'm like, how does he know that this is for him? Like, of course, yeah, it's for him. But like, how did he know? Also, why does he choose the broccoli over the bone? Anyway, he has not left that broccoli alone since then.
What? So it sounds like he killed it with the present, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Except the mistake of giving her candy, because I gave her some candy and I have a big bag of candy in my room. So I did that, and then literally every night since, she comes to my door and she goes, "James, can I have some more candy?" And I'm like, "No, I have other people I want to give candy to, like myself."
exactly. Oh my god.
Like, I didn't
So,
realize that was a mistake.
did you do anything else for Mara's birthday besides give her dog toys?
No, we just
Like,
like
do
had
anything?
dinner.
That's nice.
Yeah,
No,
it
you
was
didn't.
nice. It was nice. It was sweet.
Cool.
Uh,
Um,
yes. And
yeah.
then so I had 4 things to say. Mara's birthday, the Halloween in freshman year. I have a Bobby story. And then I had something. Oh, the balloon story. The Uber Eats story that I didn't tell last week. I put it in the description of the last video. I was like, shit, there was another Uber Eats story I forgot to tell. Remind me next week to tell the story about balloons.
I'm glad you read the show notes. I'm glad that you're going back and reading the show notes. Oh my god.
Okay.
So what's the balloon story?
The
Let's hear
balloon
it.
story is I did a pickup from Party City, and I didn't know what it was, but it was like a lot of money for like 45 minutes. It was like $30 for 45 minutes, which is a great deal. If you're doing Uber Eats, you click that shit. And so I go and they hand me 2 huge bags filled with helium balloons. It was literally 40 balloons, and I was just like, this is awesome. I feel so cool right now. This is the most fun delivery I've ever done. I bring them out to my car and I'm like, okay, open my trunk. I start to put them in my car and I'm just like, there's not enough room. So I like try and put my back seats down and I have to move my front seats forward to put my back seats down so I can go into the trunk and push them into the rest of my car. And as I was moving the seats, after I did that, I was like, oh shit, those balloons like easily could have floated out the back. And that would have just been so terrible because I would have like ruined the delivery And I would have ruined this 4-year-old's birthday because there was a giant inflatable 4 that would have just been like floating away into the sky. And I was just like, thank God that didn't happen. So I, fill the car, and then I can't see out my rear view window because balloons fill the space of whatever they fill the volume of whatever space they're in. That's science. And so I like make the delivery, and I was so happy that I actually got to like see the face of the 4-year-old who was like, the balloons. I was like, yes, the balloons. Because like I've delivered like a PlayStation 5 before. And that was like, I drop it at the door, take a photo of it, and drive away. And I was like, I literally I waited there. And I was like, is nobody gonna answer the door? Do I not get to see the look on this kid's face? When I delivered a PlayStation 5, I was like, this feels like something I would need to hand off, get a signature on. No, nothing like that. So that was my most exciting delivery. Now it's now it's the balloons. Balloons was the most exciting.
That's crazy. I can't. Somebody fucking. Where can you Uber Eats a PS5 from? How much was that tip?
It wasn't enough. I got that PlayStation, and I was just like, I kind of want a PlayStation. No. I gotta do it for the kid. I'll definitely like get a decent tip, and maybe I'll like get to see the look on his face when Santa James comes and delivers this in the middle of April. Fucking didn't see his face, didn't get a decent tip. After a while, I was like, I should have stole that shit.
Yeah, that should have been a take a picture. It's on your porch. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna leave. If you're listening, parody, non actionable. But
entertainment, not actual advice.
Exactly, because Uber Eats is the tipping options. It's like 10%, 18%, 20%. PS5s are fucking $400, right?
Yeah, literally.
You should have gotten.
I hope I got a 10%. No.
You should have had a PS5 then. God damn it. You should. Yeah. I would have been so confused if you had just booted up and I had like a PlayStation friend request from Hammernose. Damn.
When'd you get this? I thought you were working today. I'm like, I was working.
Work was very good to me. Oh my God. That's have you all I can think about with your balloon story is do you remember the Vine where it's like a Scottish guy and he's like, are they helium balloons? And it's like, and the car starts floating away. It's like, I told you not to get the helium balloon. That's all I can think about.
That's pretty good.
Like your car,
the car floating away
above traffic. You are the Mary Poppins of Uber Eats.
I was making that drive, and I was like, not being able to see out my rear view is super illegal, super dangerous. But damn it, I'm willing to die for this delivery for this kid's 4-year-old party. Oh, what I was thinking is if I fucked that delivery up, it's like 4 years old, they're going to remember that. It's like if I ruin a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old's birthday party, they're not going to remember that shit. That shit don't matter. But a 4-year-old, I ruined that birthday party, that's a core memory.
Yeah. Can I tell you? I can attest to that. A fuck up happening at a very early age birthday party not being memorable. You were there. You might know where I'm going with this. Do you know the Teletubby story? Oh, well, you were definitely there. But this just proves our collective memory. Yeah, no, it is probably exactly what you were going to assume. I think for my second birthday party or whatever, maybe first, I don't fucking know. I was the firstborn, so my parents went all out for my early birthdays. They were like, we have a child. Let's get a bounce house and hire. My favorite show as a little kid, like, was the Teletubbies. And they're like, we're going to hire, I think it was like Poe, like the red one, to show up. And like, it's gonna make Tommy's fucking day. Life's gonna be great. Apparently, Poe shows up and his head's on backwards and he's drunk. I guess it's like a 20-year-old kid. It's his first time ever doing a costume gig, and he drank before the party to kind of like ease the nerves. But it seems like he drank too much, because my uncle loves to tell this story because he's like, I answered the door and Paul was shit-faced. And I shut the door and I said, Marion, Poe's here and he's shit-faced. And I guess like I walked up and I was like, "Why is Poe's head on backwards?" And they're like, "Go in the backyard, Tommy." Yeah. But like, long story short, I think they got into like a little bit of a verbal disagreement with this Teletubby, and they sent him home. And they
Oh.
sent the drunk Teletubby home. But I don't remember any of that. That was a core memory for my parents, not for me. So, but if I was 4, if I was 4, I'd
If
be
I was 4, I wouldn't be able to watch that show anymore.
I'd be unforgiving to child actors, actors for children's parties, all the above. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Damn, your parents did used to get bouncy houses, and then that tradition continued, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, right? Like,
They're like, Tommy, what do you want for your 27th birthday party? And you're like, you don't have to.
the bouncy house, can we honestly, it would be great if Shitface Poe made an appearance for my 27th birthday, but like this time as a friend. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Just
He's
get the
here in
costume. I'll just have one of my friends do it.
I'll put the head on sideways and it'll
my
be
God.
just like that.
Oh, that's
That would
wonderful.
be a scream. I think I should do that for my dad's birthday. I think that's the next birthday coming up. My
The
dad's
bouncy house or the shit-based Poe?
both 64, fresh off leg surgery, heart surgery. Let's get this man a fucking bounce house. Let's get this man Poe. Spin art used to be big. That's a big
Spin
early
art.
2000s thing. Do you remember spin art?
I do remember spin art. I like spin art. Or
Yeah.
you had a cotton candy machine at least a couple times. That was huge.
Big
Right next to the
shout out
spin
cotton
art,
candy.
2 spinning machines.
Yeah,
went
right. It
together.
was like
Yeah.
spin candy, spin a treat, a
Yeah.
bit of art. I know, right? That really, I think, like, I really peaked in terms of birthdays around like 10. And it
Yeah,
was just kind of
yeah.
like, well, I'm too old to do that stuff, and nothing else sounds fun. So, but oh my God, yeah, we really did go hard. Caroline and Emily did not get nearly
They
well.
got bouncy houses.
They did. And Emily, do you remember like the Polar Express? Emily got the Polar Express a
Oh,
couple times.
damn.
Which
Yeah, good
was the
times.
middle school, elementary school that me, Caroline, and Emily went to would take over one of the commuter rails in Boston for a little bit, and it would dress up one of the carts to be like the North Pole Polar Express train from the movie, and then the train would just go into Boston and then go back to Lynn, and that was like the North Pole and back. But they would give you chocolate milk, and they would like sing and dance, and there were
Oh my
elves and
God.
shit,
I liked
and it
that a
all
lot.
fell
Those
on my
were fun.
sister's birthday. Those
Yeah.
were fun. Those were
Those are
like
really fun.
fun. Now I feel like it's funny to be like, they don't do shit like that anymore. It's like, I'm sure they do. I'm just not fucking 10. Like, I just don't know.
They still do. It'd just be really weird if you were on the Polar Express this year,
Right.
you know.
Like, my chocolate milk, please. Please, thank you.
I'm supposed to get a candy bar with this.
Hey, can I get another? Hey, guy singing, can you punch my
Yeah.
ticket to look like a duck? Um, and
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. We
damn.
really had some weird birthdays growing up. We had a couple of fun parties. You had 4 things to talk about.
Yeah, my last one is Bobby matched with somebody on Hinge. And
Go Bobby. Snaps for him.
the prompt was, the way to win me over is to tell me your best joke. And he said, knock knock. And then she matched with him and said, who's there? And he was on the phone with me and he was like, oh shit, James, this girl just matched with me. I said knock knock. And then she said, who's there? And I do not have a joke. I did not think I'd get this far. So what would you do in this situation? You're put on the spot for a knock knock joke.
Am I okay? If I'm texting it, I would probably just like kick the can down the road until I thought of a good response. If it was in person and somebody was like, knock knock, who's there? And I had to come up with something.
No, texting. Texting. This is you. It's a potential suitor. You're a suitor.
And like, I would go, shoot, you caught me. I was gonna come up with something, but honesty is something I value a lot in relationships.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna
so
tell you
good.
that I had nothing planned.
That's so good. That's what his yeah.
Yeah, you're a green flag and you're kind of witty.
Yeah, his instinct was to say, oh shit, I didn't think I'd get this far. But I had a few good ideas. One of which was just like be like, who's there? My name's Bobby. It's nice to meet you, and like just like pretend it wasn't a joke. But that we didn't go with that, thank God. But the best one was for him to say, "Oh shit, I fucked it up. Can I try it again? But this time you have to start." And then she would be like, "Okay, who? Knock knock," and then he would just say, "Who's there?"
And just see what happens.
It's just like, yeah, it's on you now. And he was like, damn, that's really funny, but I feel like she would unmatch me. And I'm just like, that would just make it funnier. You have to do this. Ultimately, ultimately what we went with was knock knock, who's there? I was like, just say DoorDash, but oh shit, I forgot your coffee at the shop. We better go get it together.
That's
See,
clever.
That's
good.
That's what he went with, and I understand that's why he went. Like, there's a good reason why that was the choice. But he should have gone with "fuck, I messed it up. You started."
Yeah, right. Bobby's clearly not committed to the bit on that one.
Yeah, exactly. He cares more about the match than the joke.
He cares more to find love in this cruel world
That's
than he
awful.
does for a story for us now. Now, Bobby. Well, do you know if she responded? Do you know? Do we have enough?
I have no idea. No update at the moment.
Damn. Please let me know by next week. Bobby kind of kills, right? Like he doesn't need that. He could afford to fuck up a match for a bit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Bobby is he can afford it. He can be funny or not funny. He doesn't have to be tactful.
I was like, knock knock, who's there? Oh, the guy who didn't think of a knock knock joke beforehand. He was like, should I just send that? And I was like, no, we can do better. Knock knock, who's there? The guy is too short to ring the doorbell. He's like, that's pretty good. I'm like, no, we can do better. I felt like I was like, finally, my skill for comedy is useful. He's like, James, I need your help with this. And I'm like, yes.
Oh my God, I love to be relied upon. This is so nice.
I love to be useful.
Oh, well, I hope knock your area of expertise.
Exactly.
Knock knock joke aficionado.
Yeah, I hope they get married, and then eventually I meet her, and I'm just like, yeah, not the opener I would have gone with.
Say knock knock. Just say knock knock. That's what you hit her. It's like, what are you gonna? Is that gonna be the title of this episode? Knock knock.
Oh my God! Can we talk about the clickbait title of last week's episode? I called it "Gay Away."
You're so funny.
It got so many more views than the other episodes, and it's entirely because of the title. How was that party? Did you dress up as a stalagmite or how'd it go?
I did not dress up. I know. We got cold feet at the last minute. Did still go to the party, but ended up going as something a little arguably more convoluted, but like less convoluted. The short of it is like what I told my mom, right, was like Jersey Shore Italian American kind of deal.
Gym tan laundry.
Yeah, more or less. I was a white t-shirt. I had my fucking chain out, and I was wearing a really shitty pair of jeans, and I slicked my hair back. Cool. I looked awful. But Hannah had this wig, this black wig that I think I had mentioned, and was like, okay, here's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be Monica. She's an Italian-American girl from New Jersey who really wants to go to Miami. And I was like, sure. Are you going to, what am I?
Is Monica a real person? Like, are you basing this off someone I know? Like, what's going on?
It's like, well, this is just kind of, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where Monica came from. Monica came from deep inside Hannah's psyche.
From Hannah's world-building ability.
Right, exactly. Monica's actually from Hannah's novel that's not out yet. But they bought like press-on nails. Cool. And got one nail on their pinky and was like, I hate this. I hate the sensation of this. I hate everything. It's stuck and I can't get it off. So what the fuck do I do? And I was like, well, that can be your Coke nail. It's a part of it's a bit. It's a part of the costume. So
this is what you told your mom? That's what you
That's not what I told my mom. I told my mom Italian American from New Jersey. Everything else was implied. At the party, it was a big hit. Hannah, like the lore built as the kind of night went on. And every single person that Hannah explained the costume to, like Monica got a little more fleshed out. And and it was funny. It was like the person who was hosting the party, she was like, "Oh, okay. And Tommy, you're Monica's counter?" And I was like, "Yes, that's me. My character doesn't have a name. My character is the counter. It's like in Pokemon, where you can pick like the boy avatar or the girl avatar. I was like the option that they didn't pick, like, the other one.
You took Coke off the cross necklace. I was hanging around your neck. Yeah, like Monica's got the nail, I got the cross.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Sorry, Grandpa.
That's awful.
His cross. But it ended up going well. I forgot to eat that day. And we showed up to the party a little late. So I was like, oh no. Okay, so it was like a situation where the party, quote unquote, was at somebody's house, but it was actually like, we're going to be at my house until midnight, and then at midnight we're going to go to this club. Everyone buy a ticket to the club. It's like themed night, some shit. In theory, like, I'll give the party host credit. Like, this was I looked at it. I didn't end up buying a ticket because I waited until the day of the show, and they went from $30 the day before to $70 the day of. And I was like,
wow.
No, sorry,
That's
I'm
a big
not.
jump.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm not going. But there were like apparently like sword swallowers and like burlesque folk and like acrobats and like rings and shit. Like the ribbons where you like are spinning around. Yeah, it was like shit like that. So I guess it was kind of worth it, but I wasn't about to do that. Like I wasn't about to spend $70 and like then have to pay for drinks in Brooklyn, which like it's like not on my to-do list.
Right.
So pregame starts or party starts at 9. They're all gonna head out around midnight. Hannah and I get there around like 10:15. So I have the mentality of like, oh my God, like it's going to be over soon. Like we just trekked an hour to get here via public transportation. Like we have to make this worth it. And they had like a punch that was like gin and champagne and raspberry liqueur. And I had a couple of glasses of that. Long story short, I had a lot to drink. And at one point,
not a lot to eat.
Not a lot to eat. And I was like, excuse me, everybody. And then I went outside and I yacked. I was like, I'll be right back. I was like, I am like a cat or like a pet cat where it's like, if I think I'm going to die, I'm like, it's time to go alone. Like I wander off alone by myself. So that's what I did. I was like, and the girl was on the party, Becca, she was like, we have a bathroom. Like you could have just like gone in there and like puked in the toilet. And I was like, no, because then that's like your problem. You live in an apartment. So if I do it outside, it's like management's problem. So
it's like the city of New York's problem.
Yeah, right. And I was like, that sounds better for everybody involved. So like I went outside, I yak, I hang around out there for a while longer, and then like I'm still feeling a little sick. I obviously don't look so good, but then people start coming out to leave for the party, and I'm just like there leaning against like a post being like, oh hey.
You're just like, this is part of my character, this is part of the costume.
It really could have been. It was fortunate that like they only caught me between yaks, but it was like it was a lot. But I felt great afterwards, and then Hannah and I went home, and that was pretty much the end of the night. But it was fun. We really like did a lot in those two. I should say I did a lot in those 2.5 hours. Hannah had like maybe one drink and was like, "You're on another level right now. I am not on your level." And at like one point, I guess like that was annoying. So shocker, right?
It's annoying for one of the two of you. The other of you is shit-faced and doesn't even notice.
Are you time. I was having so much fun. I was like, everyone loves me. I am social. um, like, at one point, somebody lit a joint in the house, and I guess like I started floating to it like a cartoon
Yeah.
character
Who
smelling a
smells
pie.
pie?
And Hannah was like, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was you entered the circle being like, is that the devil's lettuce? And like, apparently, Hannah was like, at that point, I did almost get mad at you because that was the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. And then no one acknowledged it, so you said it again. And then they passed.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. You're like, that was. Do you want me to say it louder? Is that a
Uh,
jazz cigarette I smell? Ooh.
yeah, right. I was like, that's an all-time classic thing to say when somebody's smoking in a space where you don't think they're going to be smoking. Like, I don't think anybody else seemed to mind it as much, but
Yeah.
I did also spill a drink, which
Nobody loves.
nobody loves. But it was like during a drinking game, so it gets like a little bit
Oh,
lines
yeah.
get blurred a little bit more. You know, what do you call the game where there are a bunch of cups that are only like an eighth full,
Yeah.
and you have to like bounce and then
Yeah.
stack the cup? Do you call that anything in particular? I've heard it called
So
two
I
different
guess you
things.
could call it like stack cup, but I called it slap cup because it's like if you were to overtake the person on your left, you slap
Mhm.
their cup away and then they take a drink from the middle and they have to drink. And then like the
Oh,
whole it's so satisfying to slap someone's cup across the room. Of course, this was back when I was in a fraternity when the room in question it didn't get cleaner or dirtier. Like the cups, there were just it was just
like
it was a
concrete
wreck.
room, right?
Yeah, you can't do that in someone's living room. That shit's
No, no, it was like
disrespectful.
yeah. So this was like stack, no slap, stack. I know that is
Ooh,
rage cage from my college days. I know.
interesting.
I'm so obnoxious. But it was during that, and you know, like I went to that, and my cup was next to the cup with the ball in it, and you know, I spilled some juice, but we cleaned it up. Life was great. Uh, yeah, but it ended up being a fun party. It ended up being a fun, and then the next day we did nothing. We did absolutely
Ah,
nothing. It
that's
was awesome.
beautiful. That's wonderful.
Uh, it was really fun. I saw a concert on Friday. That was the other thing I did.
Who'd you see?
Uh, Fever Dolls. I don't know. I bought a record player. I've done a lot in the last
You
week.
bought a
Uh,
record player?
bought a new record player because the one that I had is like bad, or it like was fine when I was 16 and like cared more about how it looked than how it like
Yeah.
sounded, and also like how it treated the records. But now I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
I know my apartment looks cool as fuck. It's time to actually get like some substance on this bone.
Yeah.
Like let's get some meat on this. So I bought like a nice like record player that has like a Bluetooth capability. So I have like a new speaker that I bought, and I've just been like listening to that record on and on and on. You should listen to Fever Dolls. They're fun. They're
Fever
like
Dolls. Okay.
they sound kind of like the well, Hannah thinks they're like a little country, like in the way that like the new Hippocampus EP is country, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like
It's got a
yeah,
little twang, but it's not
there's
full
the
blown.
slightest twang. Yeah, exactly. They're super cool. Used to be a band called Iron Eyes Cody, but
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
now they are a new band called Fever Dolls because they were like, you
Oh.
know,
That's
actually,
yeah.
Iron Eyes Cody is a pretty problematic person, and we can't separate our band from that name. So like we're gonna and they did this a couple years ago at this
Right,
point.
right, right.
But
I
I had
remember
never
that.
seen them. I had never seen them as Iron Eyes or as Fever Dolls. So it was kind of the first time I got to do that, and it was sick. It
It,
was
they have that song Animal, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's na na. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
like
Iron
that
Eyes
one.
Cody song.
Yeah. So do
So it was
they
cool.
still play those songs, right?
They played two of them, like, because they only had one EP as Iron Eyes, and they only
Oh.
have like one EP as Fever Dolls too.
Oh.
So they didn't play Animal, which would have
What?
really blown my mind, but they did play this song Broken Figures, which is also on that EP, which is like one of my favorite songs. So it
Yeah.
was super cool to hear. And then they like redid a song as Fever Dolls called "The Distance," and it's like I like that one a lot.
Okay.
When I was still at indie, that was my song of the week pick one time.
Cool.
Hell yeah. So that was there's a little recap of my week. We did a lot.
What are you up to this weekend? Because Friday I'm driving to New York, and then I'm hanging out Saturday, and I'm leaving Sunday morning. Do you have any free time to hang out?
Unfortunately, we're gonna be like ships passing in the night because Hannah and I are driving up to Vermont this weekend,
What?
doing like a little like weekender trip.
Cute.
Yeah, Hannah's never
It's
been.
gonna be so beautiful in Vermont.
Right?
Jeez, this is a good
Yep.
time to go. It might be
I know.
cold, but besides that,
It's gonna be a reason.
it's
gonna be a lot of fun, I think. Yeah, we're catching it right at the end where like the foliage is still turning and shit. There's no snow on the ground yet, so I'm hoping to do like some hiking. Like because that's what they do with like the ski mountains is you can like hike them when there's no snow on it. Or you could just take the gondola up and then down, which might be what we do.
Yeah, also good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm sorry I'm gonna miss you, but what are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm going to the mall with Bobby and Mafuz, and then someone who Bobby was friends with in high school. He was like a couple grades below us. So I wasn't super close with him, but I knew him. It's a small high school. We like shared a mutual friend. We're like we knew of each other. We like interacted enough. But I hadn't seen him since high school. Bobby puts us all in a group chat, so it's me, Bobby, Mafuz, and the kid from high school. And Bobby says, "Hey, I just added my friend James," like as a joke. And then he goes, "Oh, hi James, you went to the same high school as us, right?" And I was just like, "Is he joking?" Because I know he knows who I am. I know who he is. Why wouldn't he know who I am? And so I don't know. This is a really specific reference. Billy Eichner's show, Billy on the Street, where he goes around and harasses people with a microphone. The Christmas caroling episode where he's with Amy Poehler and he goes, do you want to sing Christmas carols with me and Amy Poehler for $1? And he goes up to someone and the stranger on the street is like, no. And he goes, but it's Amy Poehler. You know who this is, right? And the person's like, no. And Amy Poehler gets right up in his face and goes, you don't know me? You know me. You know me. And so I took that video, and then I didn't even realize I was going to just send that video. And I was like, I was driving at the same time, and I was like, can I send it so it just like plays, because it's right at the end of the video. Can I have it so it plays at like 3 minutes and 45 seconds? And there wasn't a way to do that easily. And then I saw a button that said cut. And I was like, okay. And I click it, and it was like, what 5-second segment of the video would you like to cut? And I was like, this 5 seconds where Amy Poehler goes, you don't know me? You know me. And it's like, okay, cool, cut. And then it like starts like, it has like the camera on me, and it's like, oh, it's my reaction to that clip. Okay, I can go with this. And so it's just me. Like, I'm like sitting in my car, and I just like give the camera a side eye. And, like look away, and then like look at it again and squint. And then that's the whole video. And then I like upload it to YouTube unlisted and then send them the link. So he clicks it, it's just like, you don't know me? You know me. And then me just staring at the camera. So I'm really excited to see him because I think that's like the funniest thing I've ever done.
Did they get a response? Like,
of course, everyone loved it. Everyone thought that show was hilarious.
Does he know you?
Of course he knows. He has to know me. There's no way he doesn't know me. He just reacted ha 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 ha, and we haven't talked. But I'll see him soon.
Did you say you're going to the mall? You're driving 200 miles to go to the mall?
You don't know about the mall?
See your
It's the American Dream Mall, the biggest mall in America, right?
Is that not in like the middle of the country?
No, it's in Jersey.
The Mall of America? That's the biggest mall in the country.
No. It's the American Dream Mall. It is the biggest mall in America, I think.
I have no idea what the American Dream Mall is, but this is
Bro, you didn't see that Mr. Beast video where he opens up. There's two of them. One where he opens up the first Beast Burger video in that Beast Burger store, and that's in the Mall of America, and that's kind of crazy because everyone's just like the Dream Mall or whatever it's called. And then there's another one where he like rents it out and plays hide and seek in it with all his friends.
Oh, that's Okay, that's cool. That
That is
sounds
pretty
worth it.
cool. Yeah.
East
Yeah.
Rutherford, New Jersey, American Dream Mall. Okay. Oh, it's the Meadowlands. That's where that's where the Jets and the Giants and Taylor Swift play. Like
They
the
play at the
big,
mall?
not at the mall, but the mall's attached to the stadium.
Oh, really?
I think.
Damn.
Yeah, I think. I mean, well, you're gonna find out. You let me know.
I'll let you know if I see Taylor.
Please do. Yeah, keep me posted.
T-Swizzle. I've been
Known to
listening.
roam
Did you
East
ever listen
Rutherford.
to the album Reputation?
Big reputation.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah,
I
I'm
never
a little familiar.
I never really listened to it, but I listened to it the other day and I was like, damn, this is pretty good. And then Bobby called me and I talked to him for a little bit and then I was like, all right, I kind of want to go finish listening to the album. He was like, damn, okay. And so I hung up on him and I kept listening. And then he called like an hour later. He was like, James, I was a little offended that you would rather listen to the album than talk to me. And I was like, it was a good album. He was like, oh, okay. All right.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't remember a ton. Caroline and Emily both like that. Does Reputation have Getaway Car? Is that
Yeah, I think it's
uh
got Getaway Car. I think, and it's also got the song with Future and Ed Sheeran.
yes,
And I think that's
hilarious.
funny.
Three people that shouldn't hang out. What is Future doing there? I don't know. Do you think they all recorded that at the same time?
In the same studio, and then they hung out afterwards. And actually, they're all still friends now.
Yeah, right. Like
I
that's the only
don't
way I'll
think so.
tolerate that.
Getaway Car.
don't-
It's got Wait, did you listen to 1989? The Taylor's version just came out. I listened to it and
Yeah.
I was like, this is okay. And then I listened to Reputation and I was like, this seems better. But it's got some songs. Okay, we don't have to get into Taylor Swift.
We can get into that. That's next week.
That's next week. I think
Oh my God.
my favorite might be like Folklore
Like album.
of Taylor
Taylor
Swift's,
Swift
not like
song?
album of all time. Oh no,
General.
Midnights has to be my favorite. But I've been into Folklore at the moment.
Isn't like that the new one? Isn't Midnight's the new one?
Midnights is the new
New
one.
with
Why are
new
you what do you as if you don't know? What are you talking
Well, I
about?
just like I don't think people like that one, right? But that doesn't surprise me. I feel like you have a tendency to be like that.
I like the things
the
that
one
people don't like.
don't
No,
like.
no. Midnights is good. You don't like Midnights?
I haven't listened to it. I got to be honest.
That can't be
Like,
true. I'm sure you've heard enough of the songs.
Oh, is that Lavender Haze? Is that
Lavender
Midnight's?
Haze and Anti-Hero. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. And Bejeweled. And
Yeah.
Karma. Come on. Karma is so good.
Oh, the one with Ice Spice.
No, well, yes, but the original
No,
without
no.
Ice Spice is better.
That
yes.
I don't think I've listened to the original without Ice Spice, but Caroline loves the one with Ice Spice, and sometimes we'll just like in response to things that I say, we'll like be like facts, like trying to like replicate Ice Spice from the Karma. It's just like
There's so many good songs. Vigilante shit. Midnight Rain. I like Bejeweled, but you would like Vigilante shit. Vigilante shit goes crazy. I'll send it to you. Not that means you'll listen to it, but I'll send it to you.
Why don't you send me this like really underground artist, Taylor Swift, as if like, yeah, man, what you put me on this shit.
Yeah. It was good.
Oh my God.
All right. I
right.
hope you have a happy Halloween, happy November.
Yeah, I hope you have a happy November too.
Next week I'll
it's
be
the
in
s-
Florida.
Can Cam come on too? Can we talk to Cam?
Yeah,
too?
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
that
see if he
hurts, but,
passes the vibe check. He's so
There's never been a vibe check that Cam Mar hasn't passed.
That's so true. That's so true. So in my stream, you can say like there are commands where you can do like exclamation point, Insta, and then there's like a bot that just like links my Instagram, or if they do exclamation point Twitter, it'll link my Twitter. And then for most streamers, you do exclamation point Discord, and it's a link to like their Discord community, and you just like enter it. But if someone types exclamation point Discord in my chat, it says, "Sorry, you got to pass the vibe check first."
I like that. I thought you were gonna be like, but on my stream we have exclamation mark cam, which calls which
we just
alerts.
we just like see what Cam's up to, you know.
It's just like that's what this button does.
Ah.
That's free. You can have that. You can. You can Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you. Yeah, we'll talk next week. But I'll
Enjoy
text you in the
Vermont.
meantime.
Yeah,
Enjoy New
text me in
York.
the meantime. Bye bye.
Adios.